that a lot of people don't really know how to be inspired. Hello everyone, I'm Elwirfy, and today we're going to be talking about where I get my ideas for my videos, because I think it's something that, while nobody's directly asked about, I think there's been some implied hints of that, or a little bit of questioning of like, well, how do you make so many videos so consistently and be able to make about all kinds of different things? Honestly, I just think about things that I'm confused about, or maybe I know something about that I wish I had known before, and I just talk about it. I think that's one of the strengths of having a background in writing, especially as I went through my college career of having to write a lot of papers and realizing that there's ways to kind of get around writing papers in a way so that way you can sound like you know what you're talking about, but even if you don't, I think that skill has allowed me to become more creative, because when you have that skill, right, you need to be able to think outside of the box and think of ways to make connections that aren't always there. And the best way to do that is to take, like, I love that this is something I learned when I was early on in middle school, right, is this idea of like, how do you make two things compare and contrast? Say you have a basketball and you have, I don't know, a water bottle, right? How would that connect? Well, even that's a bit too easy. How about a basketball and a shovel, right? So if you have a basketball, you might think, well, what do we know about a basketball? It's orange, it's round, sports, right? Pretty straightforward. You have a shovel, that's for digging, it has a handle, the spade, the blade part of it to go ahead and dig into the ground. How can we make those be connected in a way? And like, maybe you have like some prompt, and no, this isn't rehearsed, but maybe the prompt is like, compare and contrast these two items, and just kind of explain how they could be related. Well, basketballs, for one, while they are round and, they're more meant to represent fun, they're actually, for most people, a representation of hard work and dedication. Because not only do you have to train really hard to be good at playing basketball, there's also a lot of skill in being able to aim. There's also a lot of more mind thought, behind basketball in the strategies of where you put your players so that you get ideal passes and you're able to make your layups easily. I'm not a sports guy, I just know sports words. But compared that to a shovel, we think about it as being like a representation of hard work already. But what we probably don't think of is it's actually a means of discovery, right? So we can take our shovel and we can dig into the ground and we can find new things. And in finding new things, maybe you might make new ideas for like an invention, like you dig into the ground, you find rocks, And so if you take a shovel and it's like, well, how does that relate to the basketball, right? Well, if you have a shovel, you could certainly still use that as not only a representation of hard work, but also a representation of ingenuity, of the idea of simply like, you have a tool, right? All it is a stick and a cup, essentially, or a stick and like a little scoop. And that simple innovation is the same amount of innovation that you could arguably need in order to be good at basketball, to be able to, on the spot, think of something new and a way to help trick up your opponent. When you're digging in the ground, you don't know what's going to happen. You could have a cave-in. You could find animals, all kinds of things, rocks. You could fall into a ravine. Water could start flowing into your cave. You got to be able to, on the fly, be able to dig your way out of any situation. And in that way, we could definitely consider a shovel and a basketball to be one and the same. Both different sides of the coin. The basketball side being the more casual, yet still very dedicated part of discovery and enjoyment and challenging yourself. And the shovel being more of a representation of the physical, like rough, gritty labor that goes into, making new things. So by being able to just compare and contrast certain things, it allows me to open my mind up to the idea of things that I don't know, and like things that I do know that I feel like other people might not know. Because while I never want to ever claim that I'm in any way in a privileged position over any other YouTuber, I do think there's something to be said about the fact that I'm able to produce my content quickly and keep it consistent, because I make sure that every single day I'm honestly always thinking about new topics. I think that's part of the reason why I've been able to maintain the amount of videos that I'm making, is because I'm always thinking about, well, what's the next thing I'd want? Or like, if I was a small YouTuber, what would I want to know in order to make my channel grow even bigger or even better? And there's no one right answer, right? Like sometimes I'll go through a day and I'll have nothing. I'll have absolutely nothing. Brain fart, right? Gotta hate writer's block. Or like today, as I'm making these videos, this is all doing, I'm making 6 videos today in one session? That's crazy. I'm making so many videos today, and that's going to be 6 days worth of content. And, the next 4 videos after this video, because this is video number 2 of the day, those will all have been recorded on the same day. But if you don't watch this video, then people won't know. If you did watch the video, good for you. And go ahead and put a hashtag 4 more days in the comments, just for fun. I don't know. Just to make a point, I guess, about how people are willing to follow along in a creator if they tell them to do something, but they won't always hit the subscribe button. It's weird, right? How you can inspire people to comment and like and share, but you honestly probably are least likely to get subscribers out of all the calls to action. I think that's kind of one of the more ironic parts of making a video about inspiration, is that it's very unlikely that this video about inspiration will inspire you to subscribe if I don't tell you to, right? Because like if I made this video and I didn't mention subscribing at all, you probably wouldn't do it. Probably wouldn't even think of it. You probably just think, oh, that's a nice video about inspiration. You know, so you got to kind of be honest with yourself about what you want to get out of an experience and what you would want to get out of a single video. And I think that in and of itself, when you think about what you want out of a video, that should tell you what direction you want to go with your video. When you want to go make a new video or have a new idea and you're not quite sure what it should be about, just think about, well, if I was going to watch a video and I can't seem to find a video that works for me, how can I make a video that will fit into whatever I'm thinking about, right? And it's so open-ended. And I know this video sucks because it's open-ended, and I can't give you a step-by-step list of how to do things. And you know what? To be honest with you, I don't really want to give you a step-by-step instructions for anything, because those channels that do make the guides or whatever on how to grow your channel, that's not always consistent, and then you'll get frustrated and get mad. You'll be like, well, I followed the steps. I made 30 videos for 30 days, and then nobody showed up. Yeah, because maybe your content wasn't good. Maybe your thumbnails weren't good. Maybe the way that you talk weren't good. Maybe your audio was bad. That'd be really disappointing, wouldn't it? Or maybe the visuals just like made people feel sick because you have too many colors. There's all kinds of reasons. I don't know all the answers. I'm not here to give you all the answers. I'm here to inspire you to ask the questions. I want you to ask the questions that matter to you and put those questions into a video. Now, I'm not saying make how-to videos like, oh, how to do this, how to do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying pick a topic that you find interesting and go for it. And if you're not able to be inspired, if you really need ideas, you know, I said I wasn't going to give you a list, but here's a couple ideas you could make for your channel. One, you can make videos about why you don't know how to make videos. You can make videos about how you do know how to make videos. Like, you get my point. You see the satire here? I don't know. You can't really be satirical on the internet anymore. People don't really seem to get it. I'm not even good at being funny, so that's why I try not to be funny. I believe in you. Shoot. If you're like just using this video as a way to, and I know some people do this, right? They'll go to videos and they'll be like, oh, I want to be inspired to make YouTube videos. Sometimes they just need someone to be like, hey, I believe in you. You know what, dude? If you're watching this, I believe in you. Why? Because I had nobody believing in me. Honestly, nobody believed in me. Even my own family didn't even think I was going to do that good. You know, my family, when I was young, you know, starting out making YouTube videos, they thought, oh, nobody's going to watch that. You know, that's not going to mean anything. Because, you know, my parents, they grew up on, like, VHS and stuff. You know, they didn't have internet, and they didn't connect to it the way I did. And, you know, it's a shame, but it's true. Nowadays, obviously, they're fine. You know, they like the internet, just like everyone does, because the internet's fantastic. But, you know, when you're working, you know, by yourself, essentially, and doing everything on your own, it can be hard to find inspiration. And I know there's times when you might not feel inspired to do anything, and that's okay. It's totally fine. You don't have to do anything. No one is forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. And with that being said, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. As always, guys, I'm Elwirfy, and I will definitely be seeing you guys next time. Take care, everyone.